stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with the few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. They're driving theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
What's up, everybody?
What is that?
How's it going, dudes? You're tuned into the Drive-In Speakerbox. Yeehaw! It's Monday nights. Monday nights raw up here in the Drive-In Speakerbox world. It's another Monday. Welcome. I'm your host, Bo, a.k.a. the Boom Operator.
And I'm the Grip, Jake.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
Using real names.
I mean, hey, if we're gonna get internet famous, we gotta have our real names out there. You know, it's just one of the things. Like transitioning from radio onto the internet, you like had a built-in audience, and monikers were, you know, of course you got to think. I started the show like 15 years ago, and it was a whole different world back then. So now it's like we have to become celebrities, I guess, and we can't be celebrities with default names from movie sets. It's gonna whatever. Vince is already in the comments. Ooh, Mike's a little hot there. Vince is already in the comments talking about lots of chatter about Old Guard lately. We're gonna be talking about Old Guard tonight. So stick around for that. I caught it over the weekend. Everybody was like, "Oh, what do you think about Old Guard?" And I'm like, "Well, I guess I'll watch it." Superhero comic book movie flavor of the week, and so we'll be talking about that. Did you catch anything? I mean, you're sitting here fiddling with a piece of paper. Did you bring it, or was it just on the table when you came here?
Oh, well, that's mine. But also, I watched My Spy. I don't have notes about My Spy.
And now, that's the one
Dave Bautista did this.
He slid on the ice, and everyone laughed.
Yeah, that's a scene in the movie.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just making that up as I go along.
Oh, yeah. No, he attempts to ice skate and falls, and the bully children laugh.
So the one thing about Dave Bautista is, I like Dave Bautista. He seems like a really nice guy. He seems like a fun dude. His hair wigs me out, man. It's like that spray on, and at Christmas time where you have the windows and you I don't know what people, I mean, maybe it's only people that have like shoe stores that buy that spray that goes on the windowsill where it looks like frost on the window, but it looks like a black color of that spray snow on his head, and it's creepy.
So in this one, it looks better than it does otherwise a lot of the time. But that's probably something we can get into a little bit here later. You know what? Vince wants to know what the deal with my shirt is, and it's a movie thing.
No, Monica.
Yeah, no, Monica. It's a movie
what is it?
thing.
What movie?
It's Fast and Furious, man.
Oh, maybe that's why I don't know it.
Yeah, it's Ja Rule when he starts to lose the race because he was promised an evening with Monica and her friend. If he won the race, and then he did not win the race. So he's like, no, Monica. But she tells him that even if he loses, he can still have her. But then when he comes back, that was a lie. And she ditches him because she's just not a nice person, I guess.
The plot thickens in Fast and the Furious.
How about that? Yeah, it's just a stupid Fast and Furious t-shirt that I thought was really funny. So there we go. Movie references.
Movies for movie people. Fast and the Furious. You guys, don't you love it? Doesn't everybody love Fast and the Furious here?
Yes.
In the audience? Well, anyway, that's what the shirt is.
Oh, you know what?
I'm wearing a Joe Bob Briggs Monster Vision t-shirt.
See, there we go. It's all about the things that we talk about.
It is.
If Batista's hair weirds you out, you can always Google up a picture of 400-pound bouncer Batista with long hair.
When was that?
Pre-wrestling.
He had hair?
Yeah, like really long.
I feel like it's just spray
hair.
on. It's weird. Well, let's just go ahead. I mean, we're already talking. There's not a whole lot of news happening. I mean, let me just brush right through the news. To no surprise, movie theater openings are getting pushed back and delayed. AMC still on the fence about what they're going to do with their reopening, which has made Tenet and a lot of other movies getting pretty much pushed back somewhat indefinitely until they can kind of figure out what the hell's going on. There's just no real sign in sight for movies getting released. A lot of streaming movies are starting to hit. You've got the new Brandon Cronenberg trailer for he's got this movie that's coming up that just looks totally awful. Possessor is the name of it, but looks very in style of his the Cronenberg family. But who knows when it's going to come out? We don't know. Nobody knows. But the trailers are dropping. They're still trying to get you excited about these movies, but they're just really having no idea when we're going to get to see these movies. And then movies like Old Guard, which I'm going to be talking about later in the show, could have maybe been a movie in the theaters. I mean, it was shot like a blockbuster. They tried to market it like a blockbuster, but
that's how My Spy was. It was one of the movies that was supposed to be in the theater, but turned into an Amazon Prime exclusive. So.
Yeah. I want to start digging around at the financial viability of what Amazon is paying for these movies, Netflix is paying for these movies, and what the kind of return on that is, because I can't imagine it being as big as, say, a box office theatrical run and then hitting the streaming platforms for pay-per-view and so on and so forth. In the comments, Johnny Dalton saying Charlize Theron looked like Tom Cruise from Risky Business and Old Guard. Okay. I a little bit, looking like Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible a little bit in that one. Vince saying comments coming through slow tonight. We'll be looking at that. Thanks for the technological update. But other news, they're talking about Lee Daniels and Fred Savage wanting to reboot the Wonder Years.
What?
Yeah,
I was just talking and someone posted a meme of like this kid laying down face up in the rain in the street. And it was like, oh, me at 8 years old when Corey cheated on Topanga. And I was like, forget that. That was me at 8 years old where the other Savage brother decided not to wait on Winnie Cooper, man.
Winnie Cooper.
Yeah, dude. Screw that. Don't bring back Wonder Years. I don't need to be depressed like that again.
I mean, The Wonder Years was one of those shows that I was like omnipresent in my life. It was like always on a TV somewhere where I was at, but I never like actively watched it. It was always a passively in the background sort of thing. So
I was into Wonder Years for sure.
I don't know. I couldn't do it. I think it's just because I think the like 60s and 70s are stupid. Like, I just can't. That's the clothes and the color palettes and like all the muted pastels. Like it's just physically difficult for me to look at it, and it just is weird.
What?
I mean, there's great movies. There's a lot of great movies that I've. It's just there's something about the visual color palette of those 2 decades that just wig me out, man. It's like a psychological brain thing for me when I see. I love Laugh-In, but so I have to like take breaks from watching reruns of Laugh-In because of the muted
a lot of this.
Yeah, and old what's his name, Henry Gibson being like very interesting, which yeah,
you just sit around watching Laugh-In.
I mean, I did when I was a kid. I'd be at my Nana's house and there would be like. What was it called? Like TV Land or something, and I would watch all those, the old Gilligan's Island and Get Smart and
good TV.
I would watch Dobie Gillis, and I would watch of course Laugh-In, Mr. Ed. I would watch all
Flipper.
I would Flipper and Lassie. I don't know. I did.
You watch Mr. Ed, but you don't watch Flipper and Lassie?
Yeah, because he could talk, dude, and he was a smart ass. And
Flipper could talk.
He was like, and I'm like,
It
what are you
worked.
saying, Flipper? And you remember that movie, Flipper?
Yeah, with Elijah Wood and Paul Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Hogan.
Very 90s.
I
Yeah.
miss Paul Hogan. Like it was I was really happy at the era where Paul Hogan sort of retired from movies with just the Crocodile Dundee and Almost an Angel, and like that was it. And then
Lightning Jack, dude.
But then that's what I was gonna say. Lightning Jack, and then Flipper came out. Lightning Jack was pretty
Lightning
good.
Jack came out at the height of Paul Hogan-ness.
That was
way
Cuba.
before Flipper. Yeah, with
Cuba
Gooding Jr.
He was deaf or
he was
mute or
mute.
something. He was
Yeah.
mute.
Lightning
Jack was good.
because he they go to the whorehouse or whatever, and the lady there is like, I can do anything I want to, and you can't tell anybody. And he starts to bring out his notepad, showing that he could write notes, and he's like, oh, wait a second, no, I can't.
I sure can't. Lightning Jack was
Jack is amazing.
Well, and do you remember? That reminds me of Briscoe County Jr. Do you remember Briscoe County Jr.?
Yeah, I own the DVD set, bro. Of course, because it had
Bruce Campbell, of course.
Yeah, but who's the dude that played the bounty hunter? Like his frenemy,
his buddy.
It's
who was that?
He's the dude that plays Shogun Sho'nuff in The Last
Yeah.
Dragon.
What's his name?
I can't remember, but the point is he was Shogun Sho'nuff in The Last Dragon, and he was the coolest in Briscoe County because he's trying to hunt him down at first, but then they become like reluctant friends. Yeah, Briscoe County's good, man.
So
you know what? Before we move away from the 60s and 70s thing, you know what today is the anniversary of as far as 60s and 70s go, and cinema. It's the death of Bruce Lee, and both the Apollo lunar landings and the first human-made vehicle on Mars, and that just fueled cinema and sci-fi and imaginations for all of the decades since. So how about that?
Well, it's
That's
because
all on today.
It's because it was staged. It was the biggest Hollywood production ever.
Wow.
I mean, it set forth science fiction movie because it was one of the greatest science fiction movies ever created.
Yeah,
Where are my conspiracy theorists at?
COVID's not real, and the masks are just there to make you die of carbon dioxide.
Yeah, dude. That can you explain the shadows on that flag and that footprint? Can you explain it? Mr. Grip, the Earth is also flat. No, I'm kidding. I love poking at that one because it's pretty hilarious. But in the comments, really quick though, Vince said there is a new Crocodile Dundee movie. Yes, it's called A Very Excellent Mr. Dundee. I have not watched it. It came out this year.
Isn't that the one that they based on the success of the Danny McBride Crocodile Dundee Australia tourism commercial?
Yes, and everybody got super excited about it coming out. I have not seen it. It's one of these that I probably will see when I get a little free time because I do love me some Paul Hogan. But yeah, there you go. Yes. McLean says you forget birds aren't real. Also, yeah, and they are. They're fake. Fake news, fake birds.
Johnny pointed out that dude that plays Shogun Sho'nuff would have been a good bishop if they had done live action X-Men back then, and I agree with that. He would have been a great bishop for sure. But instead, we got whatever the hell that dude was in Days of Future Past. So
yeah, I forgot about it. I
yeah,
blanked
because
it
he
out of my
doesn't
memory.
have like a speaking line. It's just like, oh, is that Bishop? And he's gone.
And he's like, pew,
Yeah.
time warp. Dude, these brownie M&Ms are
That's
so good.
that's the new movie candy to have right there.
Yeah, so Jake brought me, he's like, dude, you want to try these? And I'm like, what is it? And it's like these fudge brownie M&Ms, and of all the dumbass flavors that they've been peddling over the past couple of years, this one's good. This one needs to stick around. These are right. These make my life fatter.
Yeah, get out of here, salted caramel. We don't need your bull crap.
And it's too hard. It's not good. The salted caramel M&Ms are trash.
Yeah, go away, peppermint. Never return. We don't need that.
Remember when they also did coffee nut?
Hey, slow down.
You liked coffee nut?
Yeah, bro.
Gross. Disgusting. These are really good. Yeah, Vince says he can't even wrap his brain around what a brownie M&M is. It's like an M&M brownie batter in the inside. It's so good. Dear God. Well, yeah, I mean, let's just jump into some reviews. We got 2 reviews tonight. I want to try and keep the show at an hour because it's super hot in Arkansas right now where we're broadcasting.
Yeah.
And because we're audio nerds, we turn the air conditioning off when we broadcast so it's not super noisy in here. And it's, yes, exactly. So we're going to try and keep the show at an hour tonight just because I can already feel the sweat just wanting to bust out of my pores. Yeah. Oh, yeah, get ready. It's going to be sexy streams. But anyway, so...
Feel unsafe.
You should. Mask up, bro. It's going to get sultry. Speaking of sultry, tell me what you thought of Dave Bautista in this movie that you watched all alone by yourself watching
Oh, man.
Bautista
See,
while
you
I eat all these M&Ms.
You say it like that, but really, you ever see Leon the Professional?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, you ever see Kindergarten Cop?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or is it like a mix of the two?
It's a mix of those two. So just imagine a family-friendly version of Leon the Professional.
So it's Mr. Kimple, Mr. Leon Kimple. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So Batista's a CIA guy. He's a spy. He kind of botches a mission a little bit by killing everybody instead of keeping one alive to get the info. And so as his punishment, he has to watch the family being the wife and daughter of a guy that had been killed by his evil brother who's after nuclear plans or whatever. And to do that, they moved in the same building as them and filled their apartment full of security equipment and stuff. But
As they do.
Yeah, as they do. So living down the hallway, you have a professional killer dude, spy type character, and then the little girl finds some of the surveillance equipment, tracks them down, finds out that it's their apartment, and then blackmails them into hanging out with her and taking her places because she's new to town. Her mom is too busy, all this stuff, and she befriends the CIA guy who then becomes her best friend / guardian dude. And she makes him teach her how to be a spy. And so you have fun, friendly, little montage of learning how to be a spy. But you also have the kindergarten cop thing where the kid wants the dude and the mom to get together. But it's...
Does she go outside and climb on a radio station to hang the lasers?
No.
To get the bad guys?
No. But it's very much just a straight up combination of Leon and
here's the big question.
Kindergarten Cop, and it's actually enjoyable. Not like The Pacifier.
Do we find out who their daddy is and what do they do?
Yeah, he's dead, and he was a co-terrorist with his brother that killed him.
Ouch! All right. So
yeah.
I guess
So that's the point of what they're after. But it actually wasn't bad. It was a decent enough movie. You got family friendly, but also you got some cool action and stuff like that, and it's all there. So not a bad watch if you're stuck at home or if you have kids and you want to put on something that's
not a tumor.
Not like a Disney movie or something that will give you a tumor because you have to watch it on repeat 8 different times. And Bautista really kind of does what he does here lately.
How many
shines through as a decent actor with a lot of capabilities and range and stuff.
He's very lovable.
The only thing is you have what's her name from Flight of the Conchords, the girl that's obsessed with them.
Oh yeah. She's been in a lot of comedy.
Yeah,
stuff lately.
She's in it, and she's kind of like that.
She's always playing the same character.
Yeah, she's the same thing. Yeah, she's creepily into Bautista. Kristen Shaw, thank you.
Yeah.
So they're go on the mission together, and she's super into it, and he's not about having her there, and she's just wants to be attached to him 24/7, and so you have that kind of conflict thing. But again, kind of like Kindergarten Cop, she's stuck in the apartment because she's the tech person, and he's the one going out and doing the missions and stuff like that. So it's kind of fun, man. It wasn't bad. I liked it a lot better than what I thought it would, for sure.
Oh, there you go. So do you want to be a secret agent now?
No, man.
Did it have many?
There's a lot of running and being shot at involved in being a spy or CIA dude in movies.
I always wanted to be a
Not
secret
for
agent.
me.
That's why I held off getting a tattoo for most of my adult life, is because I thought that maybe one day that I would be called upon by some secret organization to become some international man of mystery. And then eventually I just decided that it was never going to happen.
I've just never done it because I'm not a degenerate.
What? Come on. Come on. Anyway.
Disgusting.
Shots fired.
Criminals and degenerates are the only people that get tattoos.
That's right. Boo.
Yeah, I'm the only person I know that has clean, dirty,
porcelain, milky white, beautiful skin.
Except for all the tattoos on my butt.
Well, you gotta.
I watched that Beavis and Butthead episode where they're like, oh, you should get a tattoo of a butt with a tattoo of a butt. on your butt. And then it turns that criminal dude's life around after he escapes prison, and he tattoos their butts. And then he goes back to prison, and he just tattoos all of the prisoners' butts with tattoos of butts with butts. And they run the news report about how he's a really just a rehabilitated man. You ever see that one?
Saved by butt tattoos.
Yeah. Also, Beavis and Butthead coming back. That's in the news.
That is also.
How
so
about that?
Here's the thing.
And one of the biggest supporters is Mark Hamill, which is awesome
heck
because
yeah.
Mark Hamill's just one of the coolest
dudes. Like the thing, I tried to rewatch. I bought like a season of Beef. I was on a weird 90s vortex, like in the second month of COVID quarantine. And I was like, man, I need to watch Beavis and Butthead again. I don't know if I've talked about this on the show. I feel like maybe I did. But I bought season 1 on Amazon Prime, and I'm like, oh, yeah, here we go. Boom, 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 I'm like, here we go. Beavis and Butthead, Yahoo.
Well, and Mike Judge wrote that song. He's one of the other people like Brendan Small and everything that does their music and the voices. And it's
Mike
just
Judge is
all
amazing.
around full-on creator.
But here's the thing that sucked is they had to cut out all the music videos because they don't have rights to them. And so all the segments of them making fun of like Rat and Slayer and all these 80s hair metals and all these like whiny like emo indie bands, and they're just making all the that's the best stuff from Beavis and Butthead when it's like the peanut gallery making fun of all of these bands, and they cannot show any of it. Dylan says, OG Liquid Television, I worshipped that show. I have like the first season on pirated like Chinese VCDs that I bought off the internet a long time ago. Love Liquid Television, but they can't release it because of all the copyrights.
Vince pointed out that they rebooted Beavis and Butthead before, what was that, like 12 years ago?
I think so.
And that it wasn't that great. I don't think it was bad. It wasn't bad. It was very short-lived, though. I think it was on like Spike or something after MTV had purchased Spike TV, and they did not give it its chance. I think they only released like 5 or 6 episodes, and they called it 2 seasons, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think they really gave it its shot, and maybe now with streaming being a lot more prominent and available, that's something that could really help support.
If they could partner with YouTube. Like Mike Judge partner with YouTube, where it's like Beavis and Butthead vortexing on YouTube videos, and then they could also use Vivo because there's all those music videos on Vivo, which is owned by YouTube. Mm-hmm. I think we've got a recipe here, and but Beavis and Butthead has to have the music videos. It makes it. I couldn't watch but a couple of episodes. It wasn't the same.
I never cared for that part. That was always like the in.
You didn't go with the.
That was in between the funny parts, man.
No, it was the opposite. I always wanted to get back to the videos because those were the funny parts.
No, dude, I wanted them making fun of Stewart and doing something stupid and getting into trouble and deep frying something disgusting.
Well, you need the breaks because trust me, I'll let you log in on my Amazon and watch that first season because it without the music videos it loses a little of that je ne sais quoi. It's just not there. The jokes just don't land because you need that spacing. Anyway, Go ahead. I was going to say Pluto TV. Dylan says Pluto TV has a channel called MTV Alpha that airs episodes of Beavis and Butthead. Do they air them with the music videos?
Who cares? Pluto TV's free, so check that out. I need to. I have it on my PlayStation. I need to check that out. I was going to just point out that Dylan said that Batista was one of the guys in the Princess Bride little quick bits of
there was
all
like
the
a million trillion people, but he did a great job
of being Fezzik.
Yes.
Which was awesome to have him as the wrestler being Fezzik and everything like that. I found
these 6 white horses.
Yeah, I was bummed to see that Mandy Patinkin and what's old Jenny's name, the Buttercup, Princess Buttercup. She wasn't in it, but also at the end was really bummed me out to see Carl Reiner there.
Oh my God, as ancient as hell.
Well, but he just passed away.
I know.
Yeah, so it was like, yeah,
R.I.P. man.
But yeah, that was that little video. If you haven't seen that, find it, watch it. It's Robin Wright. Thanks, Vince. Yeah, Mandy Patinkin and Robin Wright weren't in the video. Neither was Billy Crystal.
Was he not dead?
No, what? No.
I'm kidding. He's hosting the next Oscars.
But it was very entertaining to see that, and get to see Batista as Fezzik.
I don't think you know what that word means.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, it's
there's nothing as amazing as Princess Bride.
It's good times. It's good times. Yeah. Okay. Well, what were we talking about? We were talking about Dave Bautista. We were talking about.
Oh yeah, I talked about My Spy, and then we talked about Beavis and Butthead, and now we're talking about Bautista being an up and comer, one of Bo's up and comers.
Get out of here with that. Well, okay. Well,
that's a segment we need to do. Just be like, and here's a new up and comer, and you just talk about someone who's well established, and you just like act like they're new to the acting game, and you're like with such credits as, and you list like 100 of their movies, and you're like this up and comer.
Yeah, Billy Crystal, he's a good up and comer. Yeah. No, I used to do. I don't know. I used to do the Hollywood Stock Exchange. I don't know if that's even a thing anymore, but it was kind of like the. The box office. That's what I need to get Dina on, if she's still out there in the listening audience looking for a Hollywood Stock Exchange, man. That's a fun one to play. But yeah, you could find those up and comers and buy them, buy stocks in them, and increase your Hollywood portfolio. It was on hsx.com, maybe. I don't know if it's still even a thing. I'm gonna look it up right now. Here we go. hsx.com and Hollywood Stock Exchange. It's still there. Wow. I wonder how much my portfolio's worth. Because I bought all kinds of stuff. Wow, interesting. I'm gonna have to vortex on that later. So Vince says Dina did some insider trading and moved to Bali. Yeah, I believe it. Let's see. Dylan Dooms over here. I've heard great things about this up-and-comer Buster Keaton and Fatty Arbuckle. I mean, they're going places.
Well, and
tell you, I've seen some of the talkies, and they're going. They're moving and shaking.
Yeah, well, and Johnny pointed out, that relative unknown Kevin Bacon. But if you look into his career, there's not much. But if you do, just you can find a few degrees of separation.
A few degrees, yeah. All right, you jabronis. Here we go. Let's see. I guess I'll just jump into the Old Guard. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about this movie. Old Guard, of course, the new Netflix film that starring Charlize Theron, everybody's favorite Aeon Flux, and essentially the exact same role as she was in Aeon Flux, with a different shaped sword and different shaped guns. Being an immortal, going through based off the comics, written by Greg Rucka, who also wrote the screenplay for this. I'd never seen anything about the comics. I kind of tried to dig a little bit into it to get some interesting perspective on how this movie stacked up, because after watching it, it was very meh. It was very meh. I mean, because I think we've all become very sort of sensory overloaded with action, comic book, superhero-ish sort of movies, and this one felt very much like a generic gun special ops, kind of one of those things where the you've got this elite force that's going to do one last job, and then there's a double cross, and then everybody's out to get them, and then they've got to prove it that they're not the. It's just the same shit with a different skin, and this one's like kind of different thing was they were all immortals, right? And they didn't explain like
shit skin.
Different shit skin, and they were all immortals, and they it didn't even go into the coolness of what it could be like to be a fucking Highlander, and to answer Johnny's question, he plays a little bit of creepy dude. He wasn't super creepy in this one, but I'm not gonna give away any spoilers, and this movie again just. It's trying to. What was she was in the other movie that Ghost in the Shell, wasn't Charlize Theron in that too, or who was that?
That was Scarlett Johansson.
Close enough. Whatever. It's just like famous action white lady doing, karate kicks and knife fights. And
She was in Fast and Furious with some
that's what I was thinking.
terrible
Fast and Furious.
dreadlocks.
That's what I was thinking.
She had
Fast and Furious.
Awful dreadlocks.
And then Fury Road and Atomic Blonde. That's the other one I was thinking of.
And she was in the news recently being all pissed off because the Furiosa prequel is not going to star her.
Oh. Well, that happens. That's showbiz. But I mean, the thing is it was a generic action film. I didn't feel attached to the characters. When I think of some of the best stories about immortality, of course, Highlander ranks up there super high, and then Interview with a Vampire also ranks up there super high. Don't make that face. The face
has like the weird, like the what's her name, the child.
Yeah, and it addresses all of
it's
these
weird.
really interesting ideas and problems that come about with the idea of immortality. And this movie did none of them. It did absolutely none of them. And there could have been cool flashbacks, and there was like maybe one or two.
Like in Highlander, where he's drunk and he keeps getting stabbed to death in the fencing match and getting back up and trying to fight and letting the dude just keeps killing him.
Yes.
And eventually he's like, forget it, and just walks away. And the dudes are standing there like, what the hell just happened? Did I not just kill him like 5 times?
And he gets back up.
Yeah.
Shout outs to James over on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in.
Or you have the Kurgans stealing cars with little old ladies in them, scaring the hell out of them.
And like Johnny just said in the comments, it made him just want to watch Highlander, and so did this.
Just watch Highlander.
It's like, okay, they all had like a sword. One guy had kind of a scimitar, and one dude had like a claymore, and she had this double-sided axe. And it's like, all right, cool.
That's Highlander.
And that's like right at the beginning. You're like, okay, they've got these different backgrounds. They've got these histories from where they're from. Can't wait to explore this. And they like didn't. And Dylan says his favorite scene was a henchman saying, "Why is he your boyfriend?" And then, okay, so that scene was so over the top, and for a lot of reasons that I have to kind of step back and objectively dissect for narrative storytelling, And to me, if you've watched the show a lot, it's also a very tricky subject to navigate on the air. For people that don't watch the show often, is there's a heavy-handedness when it comes to trying to have a balanced, politically correct cast and story. And for me, I've always felt that by just making it feel natural is the best way of being politically correct. But the moment you start to like grab someone's face and shake it into the look at how correct we are so diverse,
like the all-female Avengers Endgame
the
scene.
Endgame scene where they're like, all right, I know we're all trying to stop Thanos, but all the men step aside so all the ladies can show you. I was like, well, I didn't. Now it's weird.
Yeah,
now
because it made no
weird.
sense. And they're like, forget everything else on this battlefield. Where my lady's at, and then they all converged in the same spot for no reason.
Because I was like totally already rooting for the late. I'm like, yeah, of course, because we're all trying to stop Thanos. But now you're like, okay, well, now it's a thing, and now it's kind of strange. And why would this happen? And because you're suspending my disbelief to a point that doesn't really make sense. And this movie did that a couple of times. And like Dylan said, something about it just got to me, and it got to me as well in a way that it's just like it just didn't seem necessary, And it's like I know why they did it, I know exactly why they did it, and I don't know. It cheapened the scene for me. It cheapened the story between those two characters in a way that made it feel very artificial. I don't know.
Dude, speaking of artificial, something that's not is Johnny bringing up these feels about Highlander episodes and emotions they bring up. And did you ever watch the Highlander TV show?
Yeah,
it was sick.
It was sick. I actually watched that as a kid before I watched the Highlander movie.
What?
Yeah. So,
dude, I watched the movie like a million times, and then I found out there was the TV show, and I was just jazzed, just so stoked to watch the TV show. It's the best.
It was good.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this movie, it's a generic action shoot 'em up. It's not doing anything new. It's not even. doing anything spectacular with some very spectacular opportunities. It sets it up for some cinematic universe that they want to try and like, well, all right, we wrap this up with a bow, but since we're an action squad team, where's the next adventure, Cap? And it, I felt like this was a 2-hour-long pilot episode to a generic like action TV series that could be probably pretty cool that they would be allowed to explore, like Highlander. It's like, go on some flashback episodes where we see him in the Crusades. Like, I wanted to see that. They're like, yeah, we met in the Crusades. And I was like, dude, flashback me into that moment, dude. And they're like talking about killing each other so many times. I was like, don't talk about it. Let's go see that scene, because the scene that I'm watching is boring and you're talking about a scene that could be cool.
Or they could have at least done like Wolverine and just showed him throughout time in like a action montage.
Yes.
Are you referring to the two lovers that made the statement of how they met? I was expecting a flashback.
So
of
would
that.
I.
Yeah, that would have been
And I wanted
perfect.
to see that.
Yeah.
I think that would have been an amazing.
That would have been great.
That scene would have been way better than them sitting in the floor like going, he is my moon, my stars, my universe, he is the this, he is the that, he feels my soul. And I was like, in what universe in a prison like guard ship where all those dudes pointing guns be like, all right, shut up. Like they're not going to let this dude monologue and then they bop him in the head with a gun. Like, it just, I don't know. Like, show me the scenes. You're obvious. It's a movie. That's what you're supposed to do. And I guess maybe it's a budget constraint problem. I don't know. I think this movie just needed it needed to explore the fact that these people were immortal more than the fact that the bullets just don't kill them. Like, that's all it did. They're like, yeah, we don't die. So
you needed the Snyder Cut treatment.
It needs the Snyder
Yeah,
Cut.
well, we'll see how that goes. There's a bunch of skepticism on that, and we still won't get to see it for another 7 months at least, minimum.
But I don't know. There's just so much that because I wanted to see it. And I think that maybe is something that the movie did right, but then also failed at, is it made me want to learn about these characters more. It's like, okay, a guy like, oh, yeah, we met him in 1812. And I was like, well, cool, let's see it.
Maybe it's so they can have spin-off movies for each one.
I guess. I don't know. Well, they've set it up for the most obvious sequel.
Maybe it's like, what was the frig? The Grindhouse movies, where they had the ads for the other movies in the middle, and everyone's like, what are those movies? I want to see those movies. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe they did that. You know what Johnny said that gets me way amped? He said we should replace the national anthem with Princes of the Universe. I don't know about replace, but offer as an alternative where someone just hits a podium and it starts blasting Princes of the Universe. Yeah, that would be sick.
And I don't know did we address this in the comments, but Vince said over on YouTube, he says he's never seen any Highlander.
That's a problem, man.
I thought you were a fan of the show.
After all the times we've talked about Highlander and you've never seen it, you gotta, dude, it has Christopher Lambert being a creep, it has Sean Connery being awesome, it has Clancy Brown being just the most Clancy Brown he can be.
Yep.
It has a full-on Queen soundtrack. It has professional wrestling, dudes' heads getting chopped off.
Lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
The Quickening.
Dylan says he'll take You Got the Touch from Transformers as a national anthem. You got the touch. Bow, bow, bow. You got the power.
As long as it has, like,
Orson
Welles voiceover.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I remember when I said we should just sing all the movie songs?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should
It's just
still
gonna.
do
It's
that.
just gonna be like movie themed karaoke. People are gonna go, all right, and then
Yeah, me and you just hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just terribly. Fun fact, the one time that I've done karaoke that wasn't with you and singing Kiss was me singing Princes of the Universe and being asked to leave.
It happens.
Yeah. How
It
about
happens.
that?
Vince says he does love time travel, but he's not a big Lorenzo Lamas fan. Well, Lorenzo Lamas is not in the original Highlander movie, so there you go. Watch it. It's so good.
And then Highlander 2, depending on what cut of it you watch, it has Michael
Is that the one with the time
Ironside.
sticks?
Well, it depends on what cut you watch. because it's either that they're ancient beings that are teleported from the super far past into the future and they inhabit their new body and they are the immortals, or that they're aliens transplanted on this planet with their memories wiped, and that's why they're immortals. It's all very dumb, but the rest of the movie outside of that is kind of cool.
Is that where the Kurgan comes back?
No.
That's the third one.
But it has Sean Connery and Christopher Lambert both get shot with bullets like 500 times, and then they compete over who got the most bullet wounds. It has Michael Ironside as the bad guy, which is always cool. See you at the party, Richter.
Richter, I just rewatched that movie the other day. I've been on a Schwarzenegger kick during quarantine. I watched Commando. I watched Running Man. Next up is Raw Deal. I'm going to watch Conan the Barbarian probably tomorrow.
You're gonna have all of the one-liners. Let off some steam, Bennett.
Now you
Sub-Zero.
Now you're just
zero.
regular zero or less than zero.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You can watch all, dude. Yeah, Ben Richards. He's one mean motherfucker.
Dude, we talked about Running Man last week because
Yeah, I will never not talk about Running Man.
I just watched it, man. I've been Raw Deal and Conan are this week. I'm gonna rewatch that.
Oh, and then you'll have to watch, Batman and Robin.
Oh yeah, everybody chill. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. Isn't that? I think there's an extended cut of that coming out after the passing of
Schumacher?
Joel Schumacher. Yeah, I think they're talking about a darker cut, one that's a little more violent, a little more.
The nipples
stand
out more.
A little more nipply, a little more codpiecey.
Yeah.
Be
like when he goes, freeze. And it's like,
bing, bing, bing. And smuggling peas. Yeah. Johnny Dalton says Batman and Rum is still better than Dark Knight Rises.
Yes.
Shots fired.
Nope. Yeah, I will die on that hill with you, bro, because Dark Knight Rises is trash.
Because I actually liked Batman and Robin. Okay. I thought it was okay.
Because here we are going, everybody chill. And then you're like, oh, Dark Knight Rises. It's like, I'll fly the bomb. Goodbye. What is that movie? No, screw that. Everyone just quotes.
Was that the one with? Oh yeah, the
yeah.
That's how it goes, Batman.
Yeah,
And,
like they're like, what's Bane in the comic books? A luchador, drug dealer, gangster man? No, in this he's Tom Hardy saying weird things.
You're gonna get a lot of Nolan-verse people triggered there with those statements.
Yeah, well,
there's a lot of people.
Screw them, dude. I will fight them, all of you. All of you. If you're our viewers, not screw you. Keep watching, but I will also still fight you.
I still fight you in the
because
driving Speakerbox Thunderdome.
Heath Ledger is at the very bottom of the list of good jokers, to the point where he's not a good joker because he's not a good joker.
He's a good Heath Ledger in a lot, in very many things.
Yeah,
I love Heath Ledger.
Knight's Tale, all the way.
God, Knight's Tale. I need to rewatch that.
10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh yeah, I'm probably not gonna rewatch that, but
it's Shakespeare, bro.
It is, but I don't know. It's like not one of those movies I sit at home, like crack open a cold beer and watch 10 Things I Hate About You. You know, it's
the good jokers.
I want to get
Cesar
sad.
Romero and Mark Hamill, and then the rest of them are just. Sorry, John DiMaggio.
Oh.
Going back to the old guard, I just want to give a special shout out to actress Ngo Tan Vang, or aka Veronica Ngo. I thought that was she's making more and more appearances.
Yeah.
Which I'm digging, even though.
Well, and she might be.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't want to go too far, but yeah, that was pretty cool seeing.
Yeah.
Because when she showed up in the flashback, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then I was really surprised, but then it all made sense.
She's starting to get more, be more recognizable, I think, on the big and small screen. So.
Oh yeah.
Come a long way.
A good up and comer.
Hey,
in the United States Hollywood market. Yeah.
You know what? Speaking of up and comers, Vince said that he watched the Back to the Future trilogy, and the first scene in Part 2 had fake rain. You know what I watched the other day?
Almost all movies have fake rain.
With one of those classic up and comers in it. Elizabeth Shue. I watched Adventures in Babysitting again for like the 500th time. It's the best. And the Boys Season 2 trailer spoiler for season 1, 3, 2, 1 earmuffs. Elizabeth Shue gets murked out, so she's not going to be in season 2.
No.
But the point is still, The Boys season 2 coming in.
Looking
That's
forward to
gonna-
that one.
yeah.
Looking forward to that one.
I like that
show,
first season.
that show's like a rough, gritty The Tick, and it helps me feel that need.
Yeah, or Amazon could just bring back The Tick.
I don't understand why they haven't. Now's the time. The world needs The Tick.
Spoon.
The world needs big blue justice.
Yeah,
The-
the world needs that feeling.
That
Kind of
mustache feeling.
Mustache feeling.
I mean, gosh, that makes me so mad thinking about it because the second season didn't get a whole lot of watch right at the beginning, and then Amazon canceled it so quick, and then after it had like a couple of months being on Amazon, it has gotten so many views, so many 5-star reviews, more than almost any other show that Amazon's put out there, all the garbage that they're putting out there. Well, they'll still need to cancel it because people just cannot figure out The Tick until after. It has to sit and simmer. And
Well, to be fair, Fox canceled it before they ever aired it with Patrick Warburton's Tick.
I know.
And that's why Patrick Warburton is one of the producers on the Amazon Tick.
Because once you've ticked, it's in your blood, man. That scene in the old cartoon where the Tick's all grumpy and he's at the cafe, and the guy's like, "The Tick, what kind of name is that?" And he takes one of the few scenes where he's having a bad day, and he grabs a straw and he goes, "Why don't I show you?" And he just like starts sucking the straw at this guy, and the guy gets all freaked out. God, I love The Tick.
So they never even got to do Chippendale Chairhead, man.
No, they didn't.
Or the giant cow.
No, the man-eating cow. Oh, yes. And Evil Midnight Bomber, what bombs at midnight. Yeah, an object at rest cannot be stopped.
I mean, more Tick.
Anyway, they're talking in the comments about the Supermarket Sweep reruns on Netflix. I used to watch that when I was a kid with my mom. We used to watch Supermarket Sweep all the time. You always go for the hams, dude. Always go for the hams. You just run down there, throw them in the cart. That's big money, and a lot of times they have that ticket on there where you get even bonus bucks. I mean, it's
Smack
literally
those
been.
hams.
You got to slap those. Am I okay? Here's a thing. Did you just say spank those hams, slap those? Do you do that at the grocery store?
I get a bad habit from my dad where I start knocking on things, but if it's like poultry, yeah.
Does your dad spank the hams at the grocery store? Because next time I see your
Yeah.
dad, we're gonna have to talk about it. Because I do that as well. I'm a ham spanker.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, and it's not. It's like I'm not trying to be a pervert. It's just like
It's there!
Hold
It's
on,
there,
that's the
so.
sound bite to take from this episode. Somebody just cut that out of Bo going, "I'm a ham spanker."
I'm a ham. I mean, it's and like it's,
Put that on our soundboard,
has that-
and
it
so
has-
every time he starts to be creepy, just go, "I'm a ham spanker."
yeah, we need a creepy one. Yeah.
No, but seriously though, like because there's always that good country ham that's like thick, the half, and it looks like a megalodon piece from Sea of Thieves, and it's got that flat side, and sometimes it's just angled just right, and you just walk by and you just go, pow, and give it a good one.
Then someone has handprint ham when they get home.
Dude, I'm telling you,
I just kind of do a few light smacks, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna purchase this.
that's a
or
good.
not.
That's how you know it's fresh. I don't know. It just feels right. Okay.
Just feels right.
Anyway. Geez. I mean, there's got to be more than us. There's got to be more ham spankers out there. Yeah, I mean, maybe a turkey. So Vince says,
Yeah, one of you
turkeys,
turkeys is probably a ham spanker too.
but never beef. Beef doesn't work because it's packaged differently. It doesn't have the same. You need something with some substance to it, something that's going to resonate through the rest of that meat. You just like a pop.
Yeah, you gotta resonate the spank through your meat.
Yes.
You heard it here, folks.
Anyway, an up-and-coming ham spanker. There's going to be lots of them. I'm telling you right now. Oh, Dylan says he's a cucumber wiggler. So you get the cucumber and you wiggle it, kind of like you get a pencil where you make the rubber pencil like that, and it's like, oh, it's rubber. Whatever. I don't know if it works on videos, but yeah, there's people do things in grocery stores that are
mean-
strange. Like I can't handle bread squishers. Those people
yeah,
are the
don't-
fucking worst.
Uh,
Well, they'll grab it and I'm like, why
no,
would
you
you
don't
do that?
squish it. You just. It's just enough. Just enough.
Why would you do that?
You gotta know.
Why would you do that?
I used to
do
as a
that.
kid.
I
Not
guess the
gonna lie.
closest I've been to this when I worked at a movie theater, we had the nacho cheese bag, and that's what everyone liked to slap there. You slap.
Oh, with the cheese, it's like
yeah, you
blip,
slap the
blip.
bag of cheese. Yeah,
Yeah, because it just feels right.
feels like a butt cheek.
Just a nacho butt cheek.
Yeah,
Oh, nacho butt cheeks.
nacho butt cheek ham spanker,
Oh my God, what are we even talking about anymore?
spanking hams and butt cheeks made of nacho cheese.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess that's a good segue to say that it's been an hour already. I can't believe that we've been up here talking about bullshit for an hour. And I'm thoroughly sweating through my Monster Vision t-shirt here. And we've been talking about this more and more and more. We were talking about it again when we got up here to the studio
Butt cheeks.
about butt cheeks. About sitting on our butt cheeks and playing some video games on Twitch. Really want to kind of figure this one out. I think it could be fun because we've been doing it a lot. I mean, it's quarantine. We got to do something.
Yeah.
You know, we're doing it anyway. Might as well invite you guys to the party.
And it's not like we don't talk about movies there too.
Exactly.
You know.
Half the time, that's what we're talking about. Just talking about crazy bull crap and playing video games. So,
Oh man, and the stories that we have to tell of adventures in gaming, it's like there's no way that happened. Yeah,
It
I wish
happened.
I was recording instead of just my 2-minute tidbit from like Xbox record that. Xbox
2-minute
record that.
bit of ham spanking.
Yeah.
But
In fact, I have a character on one of our video games that has Hook emotes. All of you know that Hook is one of the best movies ever made, and
oh yeah, we've been bangerang. I got the bangerang emote the other day.
Oh, did
so
you?
we can
Nice.
bangerang together.
yeah. Well,
That
when
sounds
we
weird.
glitched out, and my character was flying in the air. I chose that
Crowing?
then to do the crow and then a bangarang. So I pulled off the Hook maneuvers because I am Pan the man, pan the man.
Pan the man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think we have. Do we have a drive-in Speakerbox Twitch? I think
Yeah,
we do.
yeah. There is one. We streamed to it at one point.
That's right.
But
Cool.
yeah, driving speaker box.
We already got it. It's
the
already
gaming
set up.
version. I mean, you guys can set it up here. We get to
Yeah, we
capture
can do
cards.
that, and if it
It's already set up.
works,
You can do backdrop green screen. You can have a little insight of yourself while in the
Yeah.
game and all that shit.
yeah, we
so.
can work on that. And if it works, then we can spread into more video game, movie-related video games.
Yeah, dude.
Like
The Witcher.
we could get that Predator game on
Oh,
PlayStation.
dude.
We could get the newer Terminator game. There's all sorts of movie tie-in video games and things like that.
Yeah, we could talk about fun movie facts. I don't
Mhm.
know. What are we gonna? We just need more content, guys, because it's quarantine, and you guys are supposed to be not going out and getting more COVIDs. I see all you guys out there getting the COVID and spreading it around and being dummies. Like I've already I got somebody sent me a link that some bars got in trouble for here in town for COVID related stuff. Oh, Zork. We're gonna play Zork. Vince, do you want to watch us play Zork? Because I have played Zork. So yeah,
I like how just all of the hardest video games are being suggested now. It's like, oh, play this game that's just gonna get you frustrated and make you yell at everything.
Oh, that's what makes it more entertaining.
oh yeah, we'll do it.
Dysentery again, like that.
Shoot those deer. Pew, pew. All the meats. But anyway, we're going to be working on that for you guys. Oh, Interstate 76. That was a good game. That was a very good game.
Let's find a big old 8.5-inch floppy drive so that we can play the Carmen San Diego and Oregon Trail games off of those.
I think I have some old floppies. I don't think I have a drive, but I know I have some old floppy games because I don't get rid of any of my old games. Be a lot of point-and-click adventure games probably, but hey, those are fun too.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh, I have all of them. Yeah, that's how I learned about boobs, man.
What?
Yeah, dude.
And-
yeah, Leisure Suit Larry, exactly.
And peeing, making you not drunk, that's a attribute that Larry has.
Mm-hmm. You played some Leisure Suit Larry?
Yeah, you get wasted and then you get on the trampoline and you piss everywhere while you jump on the trampoline.
Oh, man. Well, all right, guys. Well, we're going to get out of here. We're going to turn the air conditioning on and upload this podcast. But thanks for tuning in. Find us on Twitch. This is the Drive-In Speaker Box, and I don't know. You'll know when we go live if we ever go live. So, yeah, get ready. And anyway, as always, I'm Bo, the boom operator.
I'm Jake the Grip.
And we'll see you next week.